So here goes the number 4 guild kit that I'm going to expand into Commander. All I have left is this one, which is Izzet, or Izzet, but I'm going to pronounce it Izzet, and you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong. And then I'm going to do Dimir, and then I'm going to do Grixis, combining Izzet and Dimir, because I love Grixis as a 3-color black, blue, red guild of Shard of Alara. It's one of the shards. And so this build, I think what makes it special for me is that this, I think, will probably be the only build for which I have and want to play all 3 Niv-Mizzets. So let me put them in order. So this is Ravnica 1's Niv-Mizzet. Let me arrange my visor so I can view it better. Okay, so the Ravnica 1 Niv-Mizzet, they're all flyers. Okay, so they all fly. And they're all big. They're all 6 drops. And the Ravnica 1 and Ravnica 2 have the exact same casting cost. Ravnica 3 is a lot harder. I shouldn't say a lot, a little harder to cast. Okay, so Ravnica 1's Niv-Mizzet has, whenever you draw a card, this card deals 1 damage to any target. Very good. It builds up. And then when you tap it, you draw a card. The Ravnica 2, okay, Niv-Mizzet, whenever it deals damage to a player, you may draw a card. And it's got a blue-red where you ping for 1 target creature or player. And then Ravnica 3, which I think is the stronger of the 3, is this spell cannot be countered. Whenever you draw a card, this card deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. It's really a difficult choice. You guys tell me. I would love to hear your comments, because you guys know a lot more about Commander than I do. I mean, by the stupid mistakes that you see me making, you know for a fact that I'm not a legit super Commander player. I just love deck building. That is my love. I love deck building, and I love going through the challenge of selecting different groups of cards into a Commander build. I think Commander building as a singleton format is fantastic. So I don't know. I mean, I think let's weigh the benefits. Okay, so this one's a 4/4, this one's a 5/5, and this one is a 5/5. This one is very difficult to cast. Well, more difficult to cast compared to this one. I would lean towards Ravnica 2. Even though Ravnica 3's is more impactful. So I would lean towards putting this one in the as the commander, and then running these 2 in the deck. Now I also have, I also want to play a Jhoira sub game, and I also want to play an Atlas sub game. The Atlas sub game is an instance and sorceries, and it's a wizard, and you can do a mini wannabe tribal wizard, which I'm going to try because I have a lot of cards from Dominaria. And then Jhoira is all about artifacts, and I will have an artifact sub-game. So I'm going to try to be on everything in this deck just because I want to. And I want to try it out, and I'm going to build it online and see how it plays. And so, but I don't want a Jhoira deck because it's going to have me playing too many artifacts, and I don't want an Atlas deck because it's going to want me to play all instances and sorceries, and I want to do neither. I want to do a little bit of both. So I think, so we already have a lot of really good cards that are basically guaranteed shoo-ins in the deck because they're either like headliner beaters, big flyers, or they're enablers. All right, they're enablers. For this one, having haste and getting +1/+1 until end of turn, and Jhoira just drawing a ton of cards. Okay, so I've already made 5 selections of the. I think I'm gonna go 30-30. I'm gonna go 30 critters, 30 non-critters, and I'll adapt based on, do I have a really good critter that I want that I'm about to take out, or do I want a really good instant and sorcery in, and I'll take out a lame old critter. Okay. So let me tell you about the piles. This pile are the cards that I took out of the guild kit. And not all of the guild kit cards are here because I'm substituting in, because I'm running out of sleeves, cards from my stash that are also in the guild kit. So some of the cards in this second stash are actually the card that I would have taken out from the guild kit. And then this is really Ravnica 2. Ravnica 2 cards and a few recent cards that are in blue-red. Okay, they're in the guild. And hopefully I won't slip in something that's wrong color, which I've made that mistake before. Okay, so those are two of the piles. Then the third pile is blue and the things blue does. Okay, and I'm slowly bumping up the selections and adding more cards. And sometimes I'll add a card that I've never showcased in one of my builds, because after a while it gets boring and I'm just building with the same GD cards. Then red and the things that red does. And over time, I'm thinking of improving all of these piles, even though I try to go for casual decks that you can build out of standard cards mostly, or cards that recently rotated out of standard, almost like what would have been called an extended format. And then a bunch of artifacts and a planeswalker for artifacts, Saheeli Ray. So I'm going to set aside these three other piles, and I'm going to take my time. Hope you guys don't mind. I really like to take my time with these. So I'm going to go through this pile right here, all the blue-red cards, the cards that are in both colors in this video. Hopefully I'll make it all the way through. It's a pretty large selection. I still did not include every single card in the guild kit because I wanna make this a strong build, just like the previous ones, as strong as I can possibly make it with the cheapest cards. Okay, so this dude is a flyer 2/2 for 3 with prowess, and it's got an ETB. You may put target instant or sorcery speed card from your graveyard on top of your library. The guild mages are usually pretty lame, and I think Wizards managed to design another cycle of guild mages that are just as underpowered as the ones in Ravnica 1 and 2, with the exception of Ravnica 1's Dimir guild mage, which I think is the best one of the bunch so far. There's still 5 that have not been published. Yeah, for 4 you tap it and you draw a card. I think that effect is cheaper on the Ravnica 1's Dimir guild mage. Even though we're not on Dimir, we're in Izzet, I know. Okay. This dude is a 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant, a sorcery spell that targets only this card, if you control one or more other creatures that spell could target, choose one of those creatures, copy that spell. Yeah, you know, I'm not crazy about copying spells. I don't know. This card, I think, was in the guild kit. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter. And then for 1 blue, remove 2 counters, and you draw a card. I think that's great, because you're going to be doing that anyways. And for the 1 red, you got to remove 5 counters instead of 2. And it deals 5 damage to any target, including an opponent. I think that's really, really good. Then this other enchantment, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant or sorcery spell you've cast before. Yeah, so this is a storm card. Not sure how well we could storm off. If I have it online already, I'll try to include it. If I don't, I won't, because I'm not renting expensive pixels anymore. But obviously, yeah, if you can storm off, this is a very powerful card, no doubt. It's a 6-drop, but you're in Commander. That's fine. Flyer, 4/3/5. Each instant and sorcery spell you cast has Replicate, which is another copy spell. That's good. Flip a coin. I'm never a fan of flipping coins. But if you win the flip, you take an extra turn after this one. Not sure. It looks like something I would not include because I'm not a fan of coin flipping. Just not. Okay. The Wee Dragonaut has a great name from Ravnica 1, reprinted again in Ravnica 3, and it gets boosted up whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. The Guild Mage from Ravnica 2, which is I don't know. I think it's lame, but I have it in here. I'm just showing the possible ways we could go. It's got a copy for 4, and I draw this card for 3. Should we, in this deck, try to go for like dropping a bunch of goblins? I don't really know yet. I'm gonna think about it as I look through the cards. Then the fuse card. I think this is one of the better fuse cards, or the least unplayable, should I say? And so for 3, you turn something into a frog. Instead, it's a weird, but it's really a turn to frog effect. And then for 2, you deal 2 damage to any target, and you can play both at the same time. In Commander, that's something that could be cool, I think. Beacon Bolt, damage to target creature equal to total instant sorcery cards you own in exile or in your graveyard. I don't think I have anything with flashback in here that I'd be exiling, but I think Jumpstart exiles too, just like flashback. And this has Jumpstart itself. So yeah, this is really good in here. Jumpstart is great. I'm a huge fan. Huge fanboy of Jumpstart. Electrolyze needs no introduction. An old card. Great. Pings and draws you a card. Thunderheads, which I believe is from Ravnica 1. It's got Replicate. Well, Replicate is from Ravnica 1. I sort of answered my question as I read the card. Create a token with Defender and Flying, and it's an instant spell. It's not bad. Another Replicate spell from the Guild Kit. A Pinger, 1 damage to any target. The Signet needs no introduction. I mean, just for the Signets alone, the Guild Kits are worth it. And by the way, I cannot sing the praises of the Guild Kit enough. Destroy target artifact with Replicate. Another Pinger. And then you can untap it whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. So the pinging can really get annoying, as could be. But I think in Commander, you guys who know more than I do, I think this is probably not going to do you anything. I'm probably going to take out all the deal 1 pingers out of this selection when I get down to making the deck. A Flyer gets pumped up total number of instant and sorcery cards in exile. And it's got an ETB that draws you a battlefield, draws you a card. This is the double color for blue-red. I thought I didn't have it, and then I just realized that I had it in the Guild Kit. So I do have a complete cycle of them by now. At least for Guilds of Ravnica, because we haven't had it. Ravnica Allegiance, RAN, I think it's called. Then an X spell that draws X cards and deals X damage to any target. You got to pick one or the other. That's really good. That's really good. More card draw. As a storm spell. So it deals additional cards to the 2 that you are drawing. That's really good. Deals 4 damage to any target, 2 damage to you. So it's got a downside. Another card that could have been a commander. It's a wizard. Very interesting. And gives something flying when you cast a blue spell. And pings each creature without flying. That can be a lot of creatures in Commander. That's great. This card was just not hot when it was in Standard. It just wasn't. But maybe I did not exploit it enough. Maybe I should give it another try. Rouse Sarek, of course, great Planeswalker. I mean, Dragon's Maze, it's not that great of a set, but it's got a good Planeswalker. Then I think we're running out of time, but I'll just stop at 15 wherever I get. Okay, so another gets pumped with instants and sorceries from Ravnica 2. Another, you exile instant and or sorcery spell you control, put counters on it. Puts +1, -1 when you pump it, so you can turn it into a 4/1. Requires no introduction, a great card, and it's a wizard on top of that. Makes your instant sorcery spells cost 1 less. Oh, this is a repeat. Yeah. love this guy, built the deck all around him, and I'm going to stop right now and talk about him in the next video.